So, if you've watched any of my other videos, you've probably noticed I mostly do reviews, but then I saw the trailer for the new Batman movie and I nearly shit my pants. I know, it's just the trailer. How do I know if it's really going to be any good? I mean, they've only shot 25% of it and Batman has COVID. Well, the point that I'm trying to make is that this may be the first in-depth character study that we get of Batman. Now, one could argue that any of the three Christopher Nolan films could be that, but to me, those focus mainly on the villain or the story at hand. Batman Begins still tells the story of Bruce Wayne, but doesn't really show the side of Batman that I've always wanted to see. This new movie seems to be focused on the story of a Batman that isn't all there mentally. Perhaps this movie could be parallel to Joker. I'm not saying that these two movies will be connected per se, but I think they could tell similar stories. You see, Batman isn't the everyday hero that saves people. He's mainly focused on beating the shit out of criminals. In a sense, it could be seen as therapy for him. He lets out all of his pain and suffering by going after all the people that have treated his city wrong. In a sense, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker has a similar take but with a different moral background. All his actions are driven by his insanity. In the end, he sees himself as a hero that's doing the right thing. This version of Batman could be very similar, just with a different background. Bruce Wayne grew up with a rich lifestyle where he isn't walked all over like Joker. After the trauma of seeing his parents die, he feels that he can only make things right by taking down the same sort of criminals that ruin his city. It makes you think that maybe if he lost his parents while living a poor, abusive lifestyle like Joker, it's possible that he would have become something similar. There's two things that brought this idea to my mind. The first one is the fact that Robert Pattinson literally said in an interview, "Batman is not a superhero." And as soon as he said that, I got really excited for this movie. For one thing, Robert Pattinson doesn't usually do pointless action flicks. He mostly does character-driven movies where he can show off his acting skills. And that's probably because he really needed to make a comeback after a certain series. You know which one I'm talking about. The other thing that made me think of this idea was this scene from the trailer.
The hell are you supposed to be? Vengeance is brought to you by
Okay, what sane superhero punches a guy, breaks his arm, then takes him to the ground only to beat the living shit out of them some more? I'll answer that. A fucking crazy person. I think this movie could be a real game changer. What I've always wanted was a film that shows Batman's true nature. I'm not discrediting the Nolan trilogy because I don't think we'd have this movie if it weren't for those. I really hope this movie goes for the R rating, but it's not a big deal if they don't because DC movies can still be dark, unlike those Disney Channel movies. It's still crazy to me that Batman has gone on for this long and he's a character that's been repeated over and over again, but I think the reason for that is because it wasn't until the Nolan trilogy that things start to work. Everything was kind of cartoonish back in the 80s and 90s, and now we're finally starting to get something that's more grounded, I would say. The Dark Knight trilogy is really good. I respect Nolan's work. It's just the only issue is that, to me, Batman was just kind of put to the side in a way. It's of course his trilogy, his movies. I just don't think we got enough focus on him as a person and where he is mentally. Batman is not all there. You can tell from any cartoons, comic books, video games, what have you. He's not someone that really does the right thing per se. I mean, he does, but he also recruits kids to help him beat the shit out of people. So I really wouldn't say he's someone with good morals. I don't think he's someone that's really caring or compassionate. He's just broken and he's letting out all of his anger and suffering on all these people that are doing the wrong thing. The idea of a Batman movie that's parallel to Joker really excites me. I don't know for sure it's going to be like that, but I think if that's the direction that they're going in, this movie could definitely be a hit. Joker, a lot of people hate on it today for some reason. I get that it takes inspiration from other movies. It's not completely original, but I enjoyed it. It showed something really interesting. We got a different story for Joker, and there's such a good build-up. You got to see him go from nothing to something. Meanwhile, he's still someone that's mentally unstable. He's accomplished his goal, but he's not there completely. He's become an icon, he's become a hero to people, but he's still not the best person. He's not necessarily doing the right thing, but he's doing what he thinks is right. I think that's what we're going to get out of Batman, honestly. I mean, he kind of already thinks he's doing what's right, but again, he's just beating the shit out of people. Do I think that this is going to be the best Batman movie? I have no idea. It is really hard to top the Nolan trilogy, I'm sure, but the Nolan trilogy is its own thing. I see the Nolan trilogy as good movies. To me, that's all they are. They're just Christopher Nolan movies, and I love that. I love those movies. I love that they have his style. I love the villains. I loved his take on everything. But I don't know if it necessarily defines the character. I know that the channel High Top Films said the Nolan trilogy redefined Batman, and in a sense it did, because I don't think we'd be getting this new Batman if it weren't for the Nolan trilogy. I just don't think Christian Bale's Batman is our definitive Batman. Of course, I love Christian Bale's acting. Of course, I love the whole trilogy and everything. What I'm trying to say is I think that this is the real take that we need. I think we need a mentally unstable Batman. So I think this movie has a lot of potential. I think it will have a great director style. I don't know if the style will beat Nolan's, but I think acting wise this movie will be really good. Robert Pattinson is a great choice. Like I said, he always does these movies that really show off his acting skills. He plays characters that have a lot of depth, and I think this might finally help people forget those movies, where he sparkles. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe, leave a like down below, all that shit, and you should check out my other videos, bruh. I think you'll like them. So yeah, bye.